Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's your boy, the Chad, on the Life as a Chad channel. And I saw a video that was absolutely fucking hilarious. It was so fantastic. And it literally epitomizes anything that a guy like Fuentas has argued in his life as far as like feminism goes and things of that nature. He went on, I think it's called the You Are Here podcast on Blaze TV. Very vanilla conservatism. And, you know, before you start questioning where I stand, I am as traditionally conservative as it gets. Okay. And I'm not sure if I will be able to show the video, you know, because of copyright stuff and things of that nature. So I may just kind of chat about it. So Nick Fuentas goes on the not slightly offensive, that's Elijah Schaefer's channel. And there's definitely a few angles to this. I mean, there's more than a few. And I'm going to hit on two predominantly. So he goes on the You Are Here podcast. And I remember watching a video where he basically said that if you are following any of these what's known as trad cons, that you need to fucking stop immediately. And at the time, I understood what he was saying, but part of me was like, well, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's not so bad having a couple of hot, you know, young chicks talk about or be a mouthpiece for your side. But over the course of maybe like a month later, I absolutely saw what he was talking about. And probably the main issue is having these tradcon women go into these conservative circles and immediately changing the landscape of the group of men who have a common goal that they are trying to achieve. And furthermore, you do have to ask yourself the question, do they actually believe what they're saying? Because you look at somebody like Lauren Southern, who was super right-wing. I mean, one of the most right-wing people for a few years, definitely did some good work with the South Africa documentary, with the I don't know if they're separate. I think they are, but the borderless doc, as they say, doc, they were good. I watched them. They were pretty good. They were very informational and not so bad. But if you don't know the story behind her, Lauren Southern, basically she employed two blazing homosexuals while at simultaneously preaching about, you know, traditional marriage roles and going against homosexuality and things like that. I don't know if she ever took a hardline stance against homosexuality, but I do distinctly remember watching a video where her and another thought discuss with each other. I think it was monkey branching. That's what they were talking about, you know, where women basically swing from one branch to another, going from one man to a better man. That's what monkey branching is. And the long and the short of it is, she basically ratted on some of the most prominent British conservatives out there, including like Gavin McInnes. And the overall question for someone like her is, well, you know, do they actually believe this, or are they just doing this for attention? And again, like I said at the very beginning, I do think that there is something to be said about having a hot ass chick be a mouthpiece or some mouthpiece for the political landscape that you are trying to promote. And so anyways, going back to Sydney Watson, Nick Fuentas goes on there and, you know, he's talking about why he would, or what role women would have in politics. And in his mind, it's virtually zero, which was, you know, fucking hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And you could just see over the course of the interview, and I don't remember, you know, verbatim what was said back and forth, but you could just see over the course of the interview, Sydney literally moving and squirming around in her chair. You can see the contradiction between Elijah Schaefer, who is cool, calm, not offended by the things Nick was saying, and just chilling, absolutely just chilling. And there's a moment where Sydney asks Nick, you know, or basically proclaims, you know, that he cannot have an opinion because he has not been with a woman. And that statement right there literally goes against everything someone like Sydney Watson and Lauren Southern and, you know, Lauren Chen, all these Laurens, Lauren here, Lauren there, when they talk about the traditional family, it totally goes against it, because if you really are a traditional conservative, a guy like Nick, who is still a virgin and has not had sex out of marriage, you would not get upset with that. That would not be a point, an overall point that you're trying to make. And furthermore, if that point falls short, you know, if I never played basketball, can I not have an opinion on a basketball game? Can I not be knowledgeable about basketball even if I haven't played it? No, of course not. Of course not. You still can. Now, me personally, do I tend to listen to someone who has actually done the thing that they're talking about? Sure, I do. And Nick responded back to her that he was having a experience, that's what he said, an experience with a woman right now. And the point that I want to make here is very, very simple, that you have these figures that are and this is why the Republican Party in America, and quite frankly Britain, has overwhelmingly come up short with everything that they have pushed and quote unquote fought for, even though they really haven't fought for a damn thing. You have someone, when you have someone like Sydney, who says on one side of the argument in many, many videos that they're for a traditional family, that they, you know, they stand up for the rights of men, and then in an interview where it's your show, your platform, you should be totally relaxed and chill, you are squirming and getting as agitated as it gets. And I remember I watched a video. Yeah, she's definitely a smoke show, I'll say that though. But I remember watching, she's probably like an 8 or a 7, I would say. But I remember watching a video from Rollo Tomasi, and I definitely don't agree with Rollo about everything. Not necessarily the theories he has, but just in general, it's mostly theory and not action. You know, I listen more towards guys who actually have receipts for the things that they are talking about when it comes to interpersonal dynamics between men and women. And he said that it is virtually impossible for anyone born after the 60s or I can't remember what date he put on it, to not be a feminist. And it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. It is so ingrained in society. And if you think we live in a patriarchal society, you are sadly mistaken. We absolutely live in a matriarchal, gynocentric society. But if you think that you have zero feminist tendencies in you, you're just wrong. It is so ingrained in the school system, in television, in movies, which I guess would be a part of television, in music. It is so ingrained, the pedestalization of women. It is so ingrained that even if you are the firmest entrenched conservative, it is still in you, in your DNA, quite frankly. And that's the overall point that I'm trying to make with Sydney Watson absolutely getting destroyed by Nick, is that it just proved that she could not, the feminism in her, she absolutely could not help herself. She couldn't help herself. And therefore, it just did not come off well. She definitely got schooled in that interview. And if you're a conservative, which I am, you have to ask yourself, like, is this really what we want? Is this really the hardline stance that we want to promote? Because again, like, on one side, you believe that men are the head of the household, and that you would never vote for a female president. Yet conservatism is some of the modern day conservatism. If you look at Fox News and you look at this and this, the Blaze, there's thoughts everywhere. And so my advice to you, if you come across my video, is to immediately unsubscribe from any chick's political commentary page, because number one, you're probably only following it because you think she's hot. Yeah, do you agree with some of the things that come out of her mouth? Sure. But let's be honest here. It's because she's hot. That's the reason, the primary reason why you're watching the video. And you just shouldn't support it. You shouldn't. You should instead be going elsewhere for your commentary. I was guilty of it. I was subscribed to Lauren Chen, to Lauren Southern, again, all the Laurens in the world, all these fucking Laurens. And it's only in the past year that I unsubscribed from it, because I just don't want to be a part of enhancing this thoughterry. And that's exactly what it is. At the end of the day, it is more thoughterry than it is actual promotion of conservatism. And again, let's just run through the checklist. You got Lauren Southern, you got the Canadian chick who was in American Pie and who has been on I think it's Nicole, that's her name, Nicole, who has been on the Steven Crowder podcast, or Louder with Crowder. You have, let's see, Lauren Chen, Lauren Southern, that chick, Michaela Peterson, who is a thought of all thoughts. You have, who else do you have? The chick that was on Fox News who said that all men are trash. I'm blanking on her name right now. Who gives a fuck? But I mean, that's like five chicks I've rattled off on the top of my head, just boom, 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 done. So again, you shouldn't be subscribed to that. You should be getting your information elsewhere, because at the end of the day, your motivation, your reasons behind hitting that subscribe button are not, real and accurate. And so that is what it is. Those are the 2 points I wanted to make. Nick absolutely made homegirl not look very conservative. And it just showed, just at the end of the day, when backed up against a wall, the feminism will absolutely come out and attack like a walrus or a tiger or a cheetah, and just really get after it. And the other point that I want to make is just unsubscribe, because if you're a dude and you come across this, you're trying to become the best man you can become. And the reality is, following all these thoughts is not helping you become the best man you can become. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, the whole 9 yards. And of course, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. Facts or feelings, feelings don't matter. Thanks for watching Life as a Chad. Late.